Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to a new episode of the Montreal Canadiens franchise mode in NHL 20. I think this is going to be a good one, guys. We're going to get a good amount of simulation done throughout the year, and I have big expectations for this team. The team unfortunately lost in the Stanley Cup Finals but we had a great all-season. The team status is actually listed as champion. And look at the preseason, guys. The team is going absolutely nuts. They won 11-0 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, 9-4 against the Florida Panthers, and 8-3 against the Buffalo Sabres. So the team scored 28 goals in 3 games and 33 goals in the first 4 preseason games. I know it's just a preseason, but that is ridiculous. Cole Caulfield has 6 goals in 4 games. He actually had 5 goals in the first 2 when I checked. And I know there was some players. I think Kovalchuk had like 4 or 5 points in the preseason game. Look at that. Domi, 11 points in 4 games. Steele has 8. Caulfield, 13 points total. So, I mean, if this team can play even close to that in the regular season, I will be happy. So we didn't do a whole lot in free agency. We only picked up 1 player, but the draft was really good and we were able to get most of the team back. So Kotkaniemi grew to a 90 overall. He grew 10 overalls in the first 2 seasons. So he's 21 years old, 90 overall. He's only making 7.5 for the next 6 years. That is an absolute steal of a deal. He only wanted 1 year at 6. I gave him 6 at 7.5. So he's worth at least 8-9 million down the road. Probably even 10 to be honest. Gallagher there, 85 overall, 5.7 for the next 4 years. We re-signed him during the offseason. Jonathan Drouin there, 85. Domi grew to an 87. Sam Steele grew from an 82 to an 84. We re-signed him, 4.35 for 4 years. As you guys can see, our contracts are very cap-friendly. It's great. Caulfield there, up to an 85, high elite, 20 years old. 2 years left on his entry-level deal. Suzuki there, an 80 overall. Dano, 83, who we brought back. 3 years at 5.7. Chris Kreider up to an 83. We actually have Andreas Atanasiou, new member of the team, 4.75 for 1 year at 27. I thought it was a great deal, bringing 84 overall for bottom 6, which is huge on the 4th line. Ryan Poehling there, an 80. We gave him a 1 year deal, 0.975. Then Kovalchuk, we brought him back. I brought him back for 2 years at 3.4. He is 38, but look at those stats at 38 years old. Puck skills, 4.5. His shooting is 5-star, all in the 90s. He's 85 for speed, so he's decently fast still. Decent physical stats. I mean, he's going to put up numbers. That bottom 6 is very good. That top 6 is extremely good as well. Second line has a +3. So Caulfield's an 88, Steele's an 87, Domi in 90 overall. So we technically have 290 overalls in our forward group. Defense is awesome. We have Romanov, 86 overall with a +1 is an 87. Weber in 90, +1. So Romanov, going to go through his stats at 21. I made him as a medium elite player. 85 speed there, 4.5 stars for defense, 5 stars for physical. Decent hands. Doesn't have the best hands, but his shot's pretty good there. Weber, we actually got Colin Miller in a trade for a couple of prospects from Buffalo, which was huge because we did need a top 4 defenseman. So we got him there. He's on a $3.8 million deal for 1 more year. TJ Brody, Victor Mete, and Cal Fleury. Quickly going to go through Caulfield's stats. I made him as a high elite. Very good puck skills. His shooting is insane. He's a sniper. Of course, he's known as a goal scorer with the United States Development Program and now with the Wisconsin Badgers. 92 speed there, so he's going to be extremely good for us for years to come. The only downfall of the offseason is Carey Price. Dropped down to an 87, but comparing him to the other goaltenders available in free agency, they were around the same rating. He was 30-25 last year, 40-20 in the first year. So far in the preseason, looking good. Caden Primo is going to make his NHL debut with the Habs. I called him up from Laval to be our backup goalie. He's listed as a role of a backup potential medium starter. 82 overall at 22, giving him some ice time and hopefully he can grow. As for special teams, going to go through that quickly here. First unit is insane. Caulfield, KK, Domi, Drouin, Weber, they all have a +1. Then we got Gallagher, Sam Steele, Chris Kreider, Kovalchuk, and Brody. Of course, Sam Steele, we got him that deal with the Ducks. Penalty kill here, +1 on the first unit with Dino at center who has 90 faceoffs. And then the second unit with a ton of CU, they actually all have a +3. So their ratings are 87, 88, 85, and 88. So very, very good ratings there for penalty kill. Taking a quick look at Laval, nothing too crazy going on in Laval. I may have to look at improving our AHL team over the next offseason. We have Dmitry Kulikov and Brett Kolak, so a couple of older guys with some young guys there. Biteto, 31 years old. I do have Gianni Fairbrother there in the first pairing. He's 20 years old, 71 overall, top 6 potential. Hoping he can grow. And we have Elvis Merzlikins, who was our backup DNHL last year. He's going to be our starter in Laval. So 82 overall, very good down there in the AHL for the Rocket. So both the Rocket and the Habs are listed as champion. I did actually make some coaching changes. I have hired a former NHL player. Patrick Marleau is now a forward coach for the team. Now, the staff chemistry is only 59, which is a bit worrisome. Silas Molson, he does have a 62% team fit. So I'm just hoping that the coaches can work well together for the team. So we did let a few players walk, unfortunately. So Jeff Petrie actually ended up going to the Boston Bruins. So he's going to be a rival. Crazy to think that. Thomas Tatar went to Pittsburgh to play with Sidney Crosby. I'm going to check out the lines of a few teams as well. But I want to talk about some guys we got in the draft. Look at that. We got Dallas Banks there, medium elite. Look at that potential. We drafted as well Marcus Samsonov, high elite. We already have Corey Slater in the organization as well. They're actually unsigned. So those 3 goalies have pretty much half full trade value at the moment. Carey Price's trade value went down quite a bit, unfortunately. And also in the draft, of course, we got Trevor Wong, 6th overall in the draft. Medium elite, 76 overall at 18 years old. He's going to be playing in junior. So he's most likely going to be either in our team or at the very least in the AHL next year at 19. I can't wait to see how many points Trevor Wong is going to have in Kelowna. He had over 100 points last year. Let's sum up the rest of the preseason. I'm just curious to see if we can go 7-0. We're playing against the Maple Leafs, the Red Wings, and the Boston Bruins. So facing out against the Red Wings, a win against the Leafs, and then we win in a shootout against the Wings, and a win against the Bruins. The Habs are 7-0, 14 points, a perfect preseason. Caulfield, 16 points in 7 games, 8 goals and 8 assists. Hopefully they can keep that up. Now, there's 3 teams I want to check out the lines for. So, number 1, I'm going to have to go check out the Pittsburgh Penguins and Thomas Tatar to see where he's playing on that team. So, he's actually on the second line. So, Crosby up to 95 overall. Oh, my goodness. Sid the Kid at 34. So, Tatar there in the second line. I want to check out how Boston's defense is looking with Jeff Petrie. So he's on the top 4. There you go. So Chara no longer there. McAvoy crew, both 88. Shattenkirk, Petrie, 85 and 85. Very good indeed. Last but not least, I want to check out the Washington Capitals and Alexis Lafreniere. Look at that. He got Ovi on one line, Lafreniere on the other. That's just absolutely insane. So when I check out the New York Rangers, they actually had number 2 and number 3 in the draft. So Joakim Imanen, 2nd overall in 2021. He's a left winger, 82 overall at 18. That's insane. And now they drafted at number 3, Andrei Butsayev is center, 79 at 18. So they got 2 guys that are medium elite there, number 2 and number 3 in the 2021 NHL entry draft. So we actually have an extra first round pick for this upcoming draft from the Columbus Blue Jackets in part of that deal to get 6 overall and draft Trevor Wong. We did trade away Tim Stutzel, who was a medium elite prospect, but he was only 69 overall. Trevor Wong is in the 70s, and we got an extra pick as well. So I think that that was a very, very good trade for us. The Blue Jackets pick does have a lot of value. As you guys can see here in a trade block, they're not supposed to be a good team. Has almost half value, so I'm going to put in our couple of elite potential goaltenders there just to see if any trades come in and see if there's anything worth taking to improve our team. All right, the trade block is set. Scouts are assigned. The coaches are ready. The lines are completely done. I think it's time to sim up to the first game of the 2021-2022 NHL season. And it looks like we're starting against the Vancouver Canucks. We're starting out west, playing against the Canucks and against the Calgary Flames in our first 2 games. So then we head off to Buffalo for a home opener on April 8th. So let's take a look if we play any games against the Bruins early. There we go. First game against Jeff Petrie. Then our first game against Tatar. Those are going to be some slow sim games for sure. I want to take a look if we play any games against the defending Stanley Cup champions, Anaheim Ducks. Does it look like we're playing the Ducks anytime soon? We have quite a bit of a break there between the end of January and February. So we're playing the Ducks on February 21st, just before a trade deadline. And then again on the 22nd of March. So we played the Ducks 2 times in the last couple of months. And we're going to end off with a couple of games at home. 4 out of our last 5 are at home, so that's awesome to see. So let's start off the season. Let's slow sim the first game here against the Vancouver Canucks. Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, Quinn Hughes. Not an easy task at hand at all. Let's get into it. All right, start off the series. Let's start off the year on the right foot. Period number 1 is 1-0. Tony DeAngelo. He was fantastic for me in my Atlantic Navigators franchise mode. Great defenseman, having an awesome year for the New York Rangers in real life. Definitely one of the great defensemen this year. Period number 2, and that's a big second period. Sam Steele, Cole Caulfield, and Jonathan Drouin. They actually have Pekka Rinne in net. I did not realize they had Rinne. Bo Horvat scores a shorthanded goal. Let's sim up the entire game, see if we can get out of here with a win. And there we go. Chris Kreider with a late goal on Pekka Rinne. New member of the Vancouver Canucks, it looks like. We win game number 1, 4-2. Going to simulate up to the Boston game. I want to play that game against Petrie. 3-2 OT loss there against the Flames. We do get a point. Big 4-1 win against Buffalo. Red Wings 6-2 win. A tough opponent in the Lightning. And there's a 5-1 loss, unfortunately. So we are 3-1-1. Not bad start off the year. I would love to win. I would love to win against the Boston Bruins and Jeff Petrie. Period number 1. And can't even finish my sentence, and Torrey Krug scores right off the bat. They're out shooting at 7-1. But we bounced back. Yes, Petty Kotkaniemi, 90 overall, 21-year-old, scores a power play goal into Karas. We need a big second period from the boys. And there it is, guys. Let's go. Ilya Kovalchuk, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, and Colin Miller. We chase Rask out of the game. Jeff Petrie went to Boston. He's getting embarrassed in his own building. Look at that. 5 goals in the second. Let's keep it going. Wait a second. Nick Suzuki scored from behind center ice on Tuukka Rask. Things you love to see. Period number 3, 7-1. The point after is good. Ilya Kovalchuk gets his second of the game, and we put on a beating against the Bruins. Cole Caulfield, 3 points. Kovalchuk, 2 goals. Sam Steele, 3 assists. 7-1. See you later, Boston. All right, gonna sim up to the Pittsburgh Penguins game, and Tomas Tatar, his return to Montreal, as we get offered a first and a second of the upcoming draft for Sam Steele. All right, so the Preds are a contender. I'm not willing to give up Sam Steele. Even if it's for a first, I'm going to say no. 3-2 win against the Sens, offering us almost the exact same trade. I'm going to say no once again. It's nice to see other teams are interested in him. 4 wins in a row right there. We make it 5 against the Predators, 6 against Long Island. We lose against the Rangers, but that was a nice winning streak there. As we win against the Arizona Coyotes. So here we are, 10-2-2, sitting first, tied with the Maple Leafs. The return of Thomas Tatar in Montreal alongside Crosby and Gino. Pittsburgh has a lot of offense. We're going to have strong goaltending from Carey Price if we want to win. Sam Steele and Tristan Jarry gets the game going with a goal for us early in the second period. 3-0. Yes, Betty Kotkaniemi and Chris Kreider. There you go, 3-0. 24-8. The shots were completely neutralizing that big Penguins offense. And 5-0. Kreider and Caulfield on the power play. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Jake Getzel, Thomas Tatar, 0. Big shutout. And it looks like Carey Price isn't even a start. It didn't even have enough shots. Just want to make sure that it was Price and not Primo in net. Taking a look at goalies, and there you go. He only had to make 13 saves. Pittsburgh only had 13 shots in the entire game with Crosby and Malkin. That's just insane. That's an incredible defensive performance by the boys. Playing against PK Subban and the New Jersey Devils. And that is a 3-2 win. It's going to be a tough game against Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. Against the Oilers, 4-3 win. There we go. So we got to slow sim this game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I do believe our all-time record is 4-4, if I'm not mistaken. I think we won 3 and lost 1 in year 1. We lost 3 and won 1 in year number 2, if I'm not mistaken. But let's go. Cole Caulfield. They actually have Antti Ranta in net. Power play goal for Caulfield, but they tie it up. Engvall scores on Carey Price with 2 minutes left. Come on, period number 2. Oh no, John Tavares scores on Carey Price. All right, we got to get back here, and Johnsson scores and makes it 3-1 Toronto. And unfortunately, that is how that game is going to end. We do lose against the Toronto Maple Leafs, but at least we beat another one of our rivals, the Bruins, 7-1. I'm going to keep simulating here. Really no reason to make any changes. The team is going very well. Going to sim up to the second week of December against the Leafs. Let's keep the wins coming. Playing against the Blue Shirts in New York. Oh no, 7-3. We give up 10 goals in 2 games, but we bounce back against the Red Wings. 30 points on the year. A 1-0 win against the Jackets there. Not a lot of offense in that game. We lose against a good Islanders team there. 7-3 loss against the Blackhawks. I don't want this slump to continue. Come on. Right, we beat the Red Wings. Can we beat the Minnesota Wild? Probably going to be a trade here because it's simulating a bit slow. So we get offered a first and a goaltender for Steele and Kreider along with a third. So Malik, what's this guy looking like? 67 medium starter at 19. Really, we already have Primo. We have Merzlikins. Really no use for a goaltender. They're offering us a first, but they're contenders. I don't think it's worth giving away 2 roster players for that. I'm going to say no. We beat the Wild 5-2. Can we beat the Bruins? 5-1 loss there. As we get offered Axel Andersson, who plays for my hometown team, Moncton Wildcats. A Swedish defenseman that was actually part of that David Backes trade. So he's now part of the Ducks organization when he comes up in the NHL. There you go, 6 points in 22 games. As much as I'm a big fan of Anderson, I've seen him score live. I'm going to say no to that trade. I'm not giving up. I tend to see you for that. I'm sorry. Playing against the Sabres, we beat them 3-2 in a shootout. I'm probably going to simulate up to the trade deadline. 27-2 as we win the Canucks 10-5. We scored 10 goals on the poor Vancouver Canucks. I got to go take a look at the news. Cole Caulfield already has 25 goals at the start of December. Well over a point per game. Oh my goodness. You got to check out here the notes. Alright, so there it is, guys. 10-5 against the Vancouver Canucks. Bo Horvat had a hat trick, but his team still lost. Max Domi had 4 points in that game, 87 overall in the second line. You'll love to see it. All right, so Caulfield looks like he's having himself a good time in Montreal. I'm going to keep simulating here. I'm actually going to simulate quite a bit because the team is going so good right now. I'm going to simulate up to the start of February. Really no reason to make any changes. I would love to beat the Leafs. We lose, but fortunately we still do get a point. We're 3 points ahead of the Leafs for first in the Atlantic. A big win against Ovi and the Caps. 6-3 against the New Jersey Devils. This team is on a roll. Make that 4 wins in a row as we lose against the Sabres. Still in the shootout, so the point streak is continuing. The Washington Capitals have fired their head coach, Caden Simpson. So looks like things aren't going too well in the nation's capital. 4-1 win against Vegas. A 5-0 win against the Winnipeg Jets. The team is absolutely on fire. 4-1 against the Jackets. And there's win number 30 just at the start of January. And oh my goodness, 2 first-round picks for Brody and Kulikov. Now, this is a trade and a half. Now, the thing is, the Oilers are very, very good. They're 25-15-2. TJ Brody here, 85 overall. He's pretty good for a team. He's 31 years old, but I mean, I don't know if I'm willing to give up Brody. But the thing is, oh man, he's a 85 overall top 4 defenseman, but he doesn't have the craziest amount of points. He has 14 points at the moment, minus 12. You know what? I'm going to keep that trade in the back of my mind that Edmonton's willing to give us 2 firsts for Brody. If down the line, if I can find maybe another option to replace Brody, such as another mid-80s defenseman, I can maybe offer this trade again. So I'm definitely going to keep it in the back of my head for the trade deadline. All right, we do lose 6-3 against the Avs, but we bounce back with a win against the Blues. What I'm going to do, I'm going to simulate all the way to the trade deadline, and then I'm going to end the episode there so we can think about potential trades that we want to do. Caulfield for a medium elite defenseman and a first. I'm going to say no. Caulfield's going to be the face of the franchise. 8-3 against the Flames. Caulfield is going to be one of our most important players in this franchise mode, so I don't want to give him away. First and 2 prospects for Steele and Wheel. I'm going to say no to that for now. A 6-2 win. The team is absolutely on fire. They scored 8 goals and then 6 goals against the Coyotes. 6 against the Kings. 6 or more goals in 3 out of 4 games. Domi and Kovalchuk for Lindholm. I want to keep Max Domi in the team. I'm going to say no to that. As well as this trade, Oilers trade was better for the return for those 2 players. I'm going to say no to the Jets. Here we are against the Buffalo Sabres after the All-Star break. A 6th round pick for Wheel. I'm going to say no. He's doing all right in Laval, I think. Zachary Lere, Reed, and a second. As much as I like Lere, rookie for the Moncton Wildcats, they want to give us a top 6 forward, a top 4 defenseman, and a second for Cole Caulfield. No, thank you, Philadelphia. Connor McMichael and 2 firsts for Caulfield. Oh my goodness. Teams are wanting to ask for Caulfield. He's bringing in a lot of interest. A first, Abramov and Hull. I'm going to say no. Again, if I give TJ Brody, that Edmonton deal for a 2 first was much better. 5-2 win against the Sharks. Peter Mrazek and Dubinsky. I'm definitely going to say no to that. We already have Carey Price. No, thank you. Eberle and Talbot for Miller and Paling. We're getting a lot of offers, but I mean, Miller, he's a decent defenseman for us, but I'm interested to see how Eberle's looking. 84 at 31, 5.5 for another 3 years. Colin Miller is doing all right with us. Ryan Paling there in the 4th line, 21 points. You know what? I'm going to keep these 2 guys. As much as I would like Eberle, I think it's good to have those guys in the team. I'm not going to do a trade unless I can think it can greatly improve the team. We're actually 13 points ahead of the Leafs for first in the division. As Brock Nelson goes to the Avalanche for first and a second to the Islanders. A big trade there. First big trade of trade deadline season. A first for Brendan Dumoulin. A first for Dumoulin. I'm definitely going to say no to that. Let's beat the Leafs. Come on, guys. 3-1 win. There you go. Cal Foote and Boris Katchuk are going to Vegas for a couple of thirds, and McNabb going to the Lightning. Home and home against the Washington Capitals. There's Spurgeon and Stahl for Drouin and the Tennessee. You're going to say no to that again. 6-3 win. Wow, they're offering us a first for Gallagher. 2 firsts for Drouin and a Tennessee. You're going to say no. I mean, I like our prospects. We have good trade value with some goaltenders. I don't want to give up Jonathan Drouin. Come on. Back-to-back wins against the Washington Capitals. The team is unreal. Rodrigue in a third for a first and a prospect. Wow, that's looks like a big price to pay for Rodrigue there. A first, Hall, a third, and Boost Decker next year. I don't want to give up Nick Suzuki. A lot of trades. I mean, if you look at the trade deadline, we know that teams are willing to give us a lot of firsts for our players. Back-to-back OT wins. There you go. Playing against the Blues. Another trade. Ryan Suter goes to the Rangers for a couple of prospects from the Wild. And then a couple of prospects for Simone and Justin Williams, who will be going to Washington from Pittsburgh. Robin Leonard for TJ Brody. Carpenter and Cuckoo. I would say no. Again, if I trade Brody, it's going to be for us 2 firsts if that trade is still available. As we beat the Blues 7-3. The Montreal Canadiens are actually on fire. Trocheck goes to Dallas from Florida. Man, some insane trades going on right here. Mata goes to Detroit from the Hawks for Maryland II. Oh my goodness, I can't even simulate. There's so many trades going on. Grimaldi and Holden for Kulikov and Wheel. Interested to see what Holden's overall is. 76 overall. That's not good at all, unfortunately for us. Playing against the Anaheim Ducks, and we beat the defending Stanley Cup champions 3-2. We get a bit of revenge on them. Playing the Lightning here before the trade deadline, we lose 4-1. A first and a fourth to Vegas from Edmonton for Jonas Brodin and Chaludon, former Montreal Canadiens Chaludon, heading to Edmonton to play with McDavid and Draisaitl. Now this guy, Zavgaruni, he actually plays for the Rimouski Oceanic. He's a teammate of Alexis Lafreniere in real life. He's a fantastic player. He's playing out with the Stockton Heat in the Calgary Flames organization. They want us to give Cal Furry. Now he only has 6 points, but he's a plus 26. He's a physical shutdown defenseman. We need Cal Fleury in our bottom pairing for defense. And that'll bring us all the way to the trade deadline as the Ducks want to give us Charlie Lindgren back. All right, a lot to talk about. So we know teams are interested in guys like Caulfield, which I'm not going to give up. TJ Brody's brought in a lot of interest. Mace go shop around to see if I can get a defenseman for Brody, maybe trade Brody for picks. As Cole Caulfield has 48 goals in the middle of February. This kid is going to get over 50. Oh my goodness. Wow, talk about an insane year number 2 for Cole Caulfield. 48 goals, 73 points. In almost 20 less games in his rookie season. He's absolutely on fire. 86 overall. I'm going to take a look quickly at the rest of the team's points as well. Domi 59, KK 58, Drouin 49, Gallagher 43, Steele with 41, Weber there, Kreider, Romanov 32 points and a plus 20s, up to an 87 overall. Kovalchuk there, 31 points, 17 goals. Look at TJ Brody, 26 points, a plus 3. Paling with 25 points and 10 goals. Awesome for the fourth line there. Tennessee, 21 and 63. Again, for the fourth line, not bad at all. Looking at goaltending, and Carey Price is 36-9-3 with 4 shutouts, a 921 save percentage, and a 226 goals against. Primo is 9-3-3. Now, for some reason, Price went down to an 86, even though he's playing out of his mind. Oh my goodness. Looking at the points for the whole NHL, we have 96. And it looks like we're first in the NHL by 17 points ahead of the Lightning. We're almost 20 points ahead from the Maple Leafs. Telling you guys, I'm honestly thinking of just not doing any trade at all at the trade deadline. It's not worth it with the team playing just this insane. I'm actually going to keep the lines as they are for forwards, as I may actually change something here. I'm wondering, you know what, if I change something here, it's going to change the chemistry. I think I'm going to keep it like that. As for defense, Romanov with Weber, 88 and 89 overall. It's working. The boys are buzzing. The team is clicking. And Montreal is going crazy. Look at that. 96 points at the trade deadline. We're going to hit 50 wins. Caulfield's going to hit 50 goals. He's probably going to have close to 100 points. He has 19 games left. He's 27 points away. So, I mean, it's going to be hard for him to get 100. But he's well on his way to get over 50. So the next episode, guys, we're going to finish off the year and head into what most likely will be hopefully a long playoff run. So I'm going to end the episode here. The next episode, we're going to finish off the season, get ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs as this team is on a mission this year. Do leave a like if you enjoy, guys. A thumbs up below, I would appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be bringing you guys a lot of hockey and baseball content all year. MLB season is heating up. If you're happy for baseball, definitely hit that sub button. Going to have a lot of content coming up this month. Going to have more franchise mode videos. Montreal Canadiens franchise mode. Apart from that, we're going to have some more franchise modes on the side as well. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.